Oh, hi there. I didn't see you come in. Thanks for joining us today on this first episode of the After School Special Club podcast. I don't know why I am talking like this. I don't talk like that, so I don't really know what I'm doing. But that's the theme of this episode. That's right. This is the After School Special Club podcast, or the Ask Club. How amazing is that? And let me tell you, you're in for one big ass whooping today. Mary and I talk about all kinds of stuff. This episode is very video game centric, but who knows? It might not always be that way, but today it is. And we talk about all kinds of things. So I hope you enjoy this first episode of the After School Special Club podcast. There is laughter, there is smiles, there is bits, there is some serious talk about video games. It's a really great episode, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So I hope you enjoy it. Boop. Okay, I think it's all working. I guess we will find out. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Wow, first one.
Yeah.
I was going to say welcome to our first episode, but we've recorded several pilot episodes that I don't think will ever see the light of day.
Welcome to 1.7525.
It's like the re-release of Nier Replicant 1.22 whatever.
It's like Kingdom Hearts, the series. This is the
We just keep
HD.
retconning retroactively everything as we release new games.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about that the other day. Oh, because I was watching Bruce Green's stream. He was doing like a 24-hour stream. It's just a Twitch stream of Bruce Springsteen playing Kingdom Hearts.
I don't know how to play. How do you sound?
He like plugs his PS4 into a guitar. He's like burning it out.
Kingdom Hearts.
You know when you load it up.
I can't even think of a Bruce Springsteen.
Me neither. No, I was watching. What?
You were saying.
Oh yeah, I was saying actually.
You were saying.
I was watching Bruce Green play.
It just sounds like Bruce Springsteen. Go on.
Watching him stream. He was doing a 24-hour stream and he was playing through Kingdom Hearts 1 in 24 hours.
Oh god. There's a lot of storyline. There's a lot of dialogue.
Well, and I forgot, like, the first game kind of sucks. Like,
yeah. Oh, it's so slow.
it's only good once you get to, like, Hollow Bastion, which is literally the end of the game.
Yeah, because then you, like, it only gets fun when you can actually, like, control, you know, like...
When you get glide,
Yeah,
and you can
glide.
fly.
Yeah. Oh, it's so slow. You can barely jump, barely move, and it's, like, tank control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a fan.
Although, remember how they did us dirty and got rid of dodge roll in Kingdom Hearts 2?
Yeah.
And everyone was like...
We got so used to it.
Well, and then they brought it back in Final Mix, though. You can get it from leveling up your... I forget which drive it is, but it's the one that puts you in your Kingdom Hearts 1 clothes. That sounds really weird out of context.
Yeah, puts me in my clothes. That puts you in your place. That puts me in my clothes.
Well, no, there's like a drive form in Final Mix. I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one where basically it's like all of your first game abilities. Mm-hmm. So like it puts you back in that outfit from the first game, and then you get like kind of like how with like Final Form you get glide.
Yes.
You get dodge roll, I think, as your like ability, but then like your shortcuts menu abilities are all of the like abilities from the first game, like I don't know what an example would be, like Sonic,
like going very slow,
like going really slow and having just an awful plot line.
Oh yeah. No, that's interesting. I never really got into, I guess, the Final Mix as much because by the time I was obsessed with Kingdom Hearts 1. When I got it from GameStop purely because of the cover of it.
Yeah,
like,
that's how I got Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, like it pulled me in, and I was really into like Final Fantasy, like Final Fantasy like 9 specific, which is still my favorite one.
So good.
So good. And then I started playing it, and I was like, Disney? I was like, Final Fantasy?
In one?
They can be together? And then I played it. I was like, this game is so good.
This is the game for me.
And then I like remember going to the Kingdom Hearts forums at the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
Back when the internet was like
just forums.
Yeah, just forums.
HTML forums.
Yeah. And I remember right when this like second one was like about to come out, because it came out not too far after the first one, right? It came out 2005, right?
Yeah, like 4 years. 3 or 4 years later, right?
Yeah.
Well, because
like 4 years.
Well, and because also, like, I always forget that Chain of Memories did come out in the middle of that on Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
But, like, who really played it on Game Boy Advance?
No. But I remember getting the second one right when it came out, day one, and then beating it, like, the next night or, like, going through
so
it
good.
super fast.
2 is so good. Yeah. It's so much more engaging, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best one.
But to be fair, I feel like that happens with a lot of, like, IPs where, like, the first one becomes really popular, so it's like they have the ability to make a better sequel because they have the money and the resources.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, like, Square Enix, though, like from the what was it back then? Squaresoft?
I think that Squaresoft they made better games, and then Square Enix came in, and I felt so salty, like, seeing the box art and seeing Square Enix instead of Squaresoft. I was like,
it's like the Amazon
bastards.
to the Whole
Yeah, I was like, you bastards, the Enix, you screwed us. But I did like Final Fantasy 13 later. When I replayed it, I liked it.
Yeah.
But
see, it's so funny because with 13, like, I feel like everyone shits on it, but I actually really like it.
The fighting's fun.
Yeah.
It's like a tube.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Yeah, it's a tube, but it's a fun tube.
Yeah. It's like an amusement park.
It's like you don't. If you go in with the expectation of a tube instead of, like, an open world, or
then
like
it's
open
fun.
RPG, then it's fun.
Do you think that's what tainted it for so many people, is that it was kind of, like, misrepresented as an open world game, but it wasn't actually open world?
Yeah, because when I first I think that was one of the reasons why I got a PS3.
Yeah.
Was to play it. I remember thinking that it was going to be, you know, like the villages and, like, you go in all these places. I thought it was going to be like that, except, like, in the future, because it's, like, futuristic looking. And no. And, like, and then there's not even shops. You have to go to, like, the save points.
Yeah.
Those are the shops. And I was like, what is this?
Right.
But the fighting was really fun.
Yeah.
And I was mad at first when I was playing it. And I was angry, but then I was also enjoying it. I was like, I hate this. The fighting's so fun, and I love the leveling up system.
Yeah.
And the characters.
Yeah, the Crystarium.
So cool. Yeah.
Really cool. So cool. I do love the characters. I love the character designs. Yeah, I love the fighting. And yeah, like, if you, like, once you like play it and you know, like, oh, it's not actually open world. It just looks open world, but it is a tube. Like, once you're okay with that, it's, like, pretty fun. Like, I don't think, because I remember a lot of people too were shitting on the plot, and I'm like, I don't think the plot is, like, that bad.
No. Like, if you think of any Final Fantasy, like, even the original ones, I guess 7 is, I feel like that story is really good. But most of them are very generic anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, even 9 is my favorite one.
And it's generic. It's pretty generic. Like, she cuts her hair.
Yeah. She's like, I'm rebelling.
I'm Dagger.
Cutting my hair short.
And naming myself Dagger, because I'm a recluse.
A recluse?
Princess.
A brown recluse. Dangerous.
The worst kind.
I just love she picks up the sword. She's like, this is me.
And everyone else is like...
I'm glad she didn't look like a rock. She's like, my name is Rock.
Rock.
Dwayne?
My name is The Rock.
That's copyright.
Yeah, they're like, we can't
do that. It's trademarked. You don't own that, Garnet.
Whew.
No, but I guess getting back to... You were talking about, like, sequels versus the originals, the OGs.
Yeah.
Would you consider, like, the second Last of Us? Do you like the one better than the
second? Fuck. I knew you were going to add the second. You were like, going back to, you know, sequels versus the red. Like, I was like, she's going to ask me about Last of Us.
Yeah. I'm torn.
I'm super torn because last year, when the second one came out and I played it, I went back because I remember in anticipation, I went and played through the first one again because I bought the, like, remastered for PS4 one. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, I'll, like, do that. I'll play through it again because I hadn't played through it in a while. And even though I really loved the first one, I just hadn't played through it in a while. And then, like, so I played that and I played the second one and then I played the second one again. But, like, I don't know. I feel like mechanically, like, I really like the second one. I feel like it took it kept a lot of the same mechanics from the first game, but improved upon them. Mm-hmm. Like, I think I might have, like, mentioned it to you before, like, when I was playing them, I was like, oh yeah, the, like, listening mechanic is, like, a lot better in the second one. Yeah. Like, and it just looks like the first game, like, it's just the way that it looked, like, the silhouettes of enemies and like the way that they looked in the second one, I just liked the design of it. Like it's not like a technical thing, it's just like I liked the appearance of it better. And like I feel like the AI in the second one are just smarter.
Oh, it's hard.
It's hard. Like the first one, I feel like I had like a pretty easy time like getting around enemies, like even human enemies. Like
there was this one time though I got stuck in the first one when Ellie, I think when you are Joel and you're down in like this little pit, like kind of like a shopping mall area, and you're by yourself, and then you're separated from Ellie.
Yeah.
And Ellie has the sniper. So she finds the sniper on the thing.
Oh yeah.
So you're in that area, and there's all those enemies. For some reason, because I love stealth, I try to do that first and foremost. That's my mode. I don't like to go in and like brandishing guns and be like, fuck off. Like I just like to quietly kill people, like in real life.
There's like a sniper in the fridge.
No one else,
The door just opens. Can you see? No, I'm blocking the fridge, but you just see like the door open over my shoulder, and there's just like a gun.
No, but I remember having the listening mechanic and like trying to like map around the people and be like, all right, I'm going to take out this person and this person and this person. And then I would kill someone and then like, you know, do it in a way that like do it in a place that was away from everybody.
Yeah.
But then literally every time like I killed the first one, they all instinctively knew that I killed someone there, and they all like in a group, like 5 of them just like come. I'm like, what?
I do remember that because I struggled with that one too. Like, yeah, like when you're getting out of the like, because you're talking about like when you get out of the hotel, right? And she's up and you're going through like the shopping center. Yeah, and I do it because I feel like I struggled there too, because I would do the same thing. I would like take someone out and then be like, oh, now I can go over here and like make my way around. But I would always get caught somehow. And I was like, this is bullshit.
Mob mentality. Literally mob mentality. Like, just all go.
Right?
Oh, that was probably the most difficult part.
But I feel like, I don't know. I'm torn too. It's really hard to choose between the two. I feel like I feel like overall I enjoyed the second one more. I think it just offered more for me personally. Like obviously I know that's kind of like a hot take because it's a very like polarizing, like people are either very for or against the second game.
Yeah. I would say more, I've heard more people against it than for it.
Yeah, but I personally really liked it. I think like I said, like a lot of the mechanics were like improved upon and like excuse me. And I mean, just like, you know, like I'm huge into like narrative and soundtrack, which obviously the music in the games is really good, but I really liked the narrative design of the second game. I think that like the way that the story was designed and how that impacted me like emotionally, I feel like was really like, because I wasn't like, I honestly was not expecting it to switch to Abby like at that point in the game and then have you play through the 3 days again but as Abby. And I remember that moment because I was just like, because at that point you're still like, oh fuck Abby, like this bitch, and then I'm gonna have to play as her. And it's like they do that on purpose because they set that up, right? Like where you're meant to antagonize her and then you play as her, and you're supposed, I mean, I can't say what their intention was, but the way that it happened for me was it just caused me to, you know, have like a change of heart because you play as somebody else and you recognize like, oh, like everybody has their own perspective, has their own story, is going through their own shit. Like, because her story is really heartbreaking too. And like
that poor zebra.
Yeah.
Harrowing. I'm like totally realistic.
But like, yeah, and just like I think like the impact of that and just the way like, because the first game affected me very emotionally as well. I mean, it's a very emotional game, but I feel like the second one there was just that drag to it, where it's like the things that they drag you through as a player makes you, it just like it was so draining. I remember getting to the end on the beach, like when you go through the villa and you're like making your way down to the beach, and like Ellie can barely walk anymore, and like she gets there and like they, you know, they fight, and it's like that was so heart-wrenching to me because it's like the way that they set it up, like it had never happened to me before where I felt the same way the characters did, where I was like, I don't want to do this but like I have to. And it's like, that was really impactful for me because like I've been made to feel things before, you know, I've been manipulated by media, but not in that way. And so that really struck me. And so that's why I think I would go second game for moi.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And I feel like a lot of people, the reason why they didn't like the second one, or the most argument that I found was that it was pointless, that like all the killing that you were doing, you as a player didn't get a choice. A lot of it was just the stories happening and them deciding for you, like the developers. But I don't think it was about that. I don't think it was about like the choice of having to do that. It was about the fact that you really don't have a choice, and like the fact that it's gut-wrenching and you want to choose otherwise.
Right, but you can't.
They make you almost want to choose otherwise the whole time, but you can't. You just have to go along with it. And I feel like that is very purposeful. And if you start to bring in that reality, which is a lot of the people that were against it, like, oh, well, like, why did she kill all those people and then, like, let her go at the end? Like, she should have killed her if she was dead. Or, like, you know, it would have been more emotionally pulling if you could choose whether or not to kill people. And I was like, no, like, because if you bring that along with it, it doesn't become what it is.
Exactly.
Like, it becomes something else. It doesn't become Last of Us, the series, which, like, pulls you in emotionally. It just becomes, like, every other action game out there.
Right, where you have agency and...
Yeah, you have, like, 5 million choices. And, like, things like, Assassin's Creed. You can pick to kill people in that game.
Yeah.
I don't like that game.
Yeah.
It's boring.
You're like, I'm just going to jump off roofs into hay sacks.
When I played
what are they, Leap of Faith or whatever?
Yeah, when I played Assassin's Creed 1, and then you do, like, the move where you, like, push people aside. Like,
that's just you the whole game.
Yeah, and then I would, like, jump, and I'd be like, I'm done.
You're like, I'm not making any progress in the plot, but I'm having fun.
It's like,
got so many people.
Ooh, NPCs. But those games, I want to try Valhalla.
I haven't played Valhalla yet.
Yeah, it looks cool because of the lore. But back to what I was saying, I think that if you bring in that aspect where you choose everything, it doesn't become as emotionally pulling, because I think emotions, like with humans, you have to get them to react. You have to get us to react. And like by doing something that makes us feel like something we don't want to do, like it brings out that like kind of contention or like that anger, that like, stress that you would feel in real life for those kind of situations, which I feel like is why it was so exhausting at the end. And you're just like, oh my god,
I've been through it.
I've been killing.
Through the ringer. I've been killing.
Murdering people. Pregnant woman once. I'm tired. And then at the end you're like, oh, just let it, like you're just like screaming to the TV, like, just let him go. Just let them go.
Right.
You're like, there's nothing there, just let them go. And God. But she actually does let them go.
Or just like, like that scene, like it could have like this, like, I mean, I know they're making a TV show, but like the scene.
Which, by the way, sidetrack. When that HBO show comes out,
we're watching it together.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We're having a party every week.
I'm going to cry. Yeah. Probably.
We're going to have snacks. We're going to watch together.
Yeah. Also, we're together in person because we both got vaccinated.
Yes.
2 weeks ago. So very
important. Be safe.
Anyway.
I'm anti-vax. I lied to you.
You're like, so the whole point of The Last of Us 2 was to present an anti-vax propaganda. I'm like, I don't think that's right.
The virus.
the entire Resident Evil series.
Did you not see the towers going up at the beginning? 5G.
I don't remember what I was going to say now.
You're making a very good point.
What were we talking about before we did a bit?
Just completely like sidetracked. No, we were talking about like the emotions at the end with like the boat and letting them go.
Right. Oh, okay. The scene, like the scene where they're at the house and Tommy comes and he's like, and he's like, I tracked her down. Like I hear that she's over here. And like, I like that scene alone, I'm like, deserves a fucking award. Mm-hmm. Like, because it was just, sorry, the buddy just went outside. He'll be fine. He'll come back. Just like before.
He will.
He just gently flies off.
I'm like, no.
No, buddy, you can fly?
Yeah, well, he's trying to jump on a bird mid-flight.
yeah, just like there's so many like raw, like powerful scenes. I don't want to say raw. There's just a lot like emotionally raw. Yeah. Well, like, okay, this is like a side tangent real quick, but like I was listening to a podcast, and it was Julian Baker actually, and she was talking about like,
wait, she has a podcast?
No, she was on a podcast.
I was like, oh.
Girl, if she had a podcast, I would be preoccupied. Yeah. I would not be here. Yeah. No, but she was talking about how like about how it was like her and another artist who was hosting the podcast, and they were talking about the word raw, because obviously her music is very like raw, right? But like she was talking about how like there's like some contention with the use of that word because it implies like unedited and like unfiltered, and she's like I put so much effort into choosing the right words to come across the way that I intend to. So she's like, and she wasn't like, you know, I'm putting my own like Aries energy onto her, what she was saying, but she was essentially like, you know, I don't like when people use that word, because she's like, I make these things with a lot of intention. She's like, I spent like 2 years crafting these lyrics to mean exactly what I want them to.
It's intentional.
Right, it's intentional, and it's like, and I was like thinking about that, I was like, yeah, like that makes a lot of sense, because people do use the word raw to describe something that's very emotional, but it's like, I guess it depends on like the semantics of it, because I feel like you can use it to be like, oh yeah, like it's just very like bleeding heart, like emotional, like raw.
In the moment.
But then there's also raw, like unfiltered or like unrefined, which is like not what it is, because it's very crafted. Anyway, I mean, you could say the same for Last of Us 2, right? It's like, clearly there was a lot of effort put into the narrative design of the game, and like, it's raw, but in that, like, in a different sense, not that it's like haphazardly just like really emotional. Like, it's,
together,
yeah.
Everyone's just creating drama for no reason.
Yeah.
The drama doesn't lead anywhere.
It's all improv.
Yeah, it's like a house. It's like like road rules.
Oh my god.
Like that kind of drama. Like, you put your finger in the peanut butter jar, and you put it back, and I have to eat out of it.
Lev, don't put your finger in the peanut butter jar.
That was the biggest problem. No, but that scene with Tommy specifically, that reminded me, like, the dialogue there, and the fact that he was putting guilt on her. And kind of like, this is something that hasn't been done yet, and you said you were going to do it, and I can't anymore. Right. It's like, it's your responsibility to do this for us. And, like, putting in that perspective, it made me, like, think back to all my, I guess, family members and people I've known throughout my life that I've actually gotten rid of, like, toxic people in my life that I've gotten rid of.
Manipulative.
It's manipulative. It's emotionally manipulative, because it's something that is really painful like, to go through a death of someone in general, but also, like, to go to the extremes that she went to. Right. And after all that she already put into this emotionally, to then be met with someone who she loves, because she loves Tommy. Yeah. And, like, Tommy, I think, does love Ellie. Like, so there's love there and there's a bond there. Right. But to, like, use that moment and use that power and leverage over her. Yeah. It was real to me, because I've seen people do that in real life. Yeah. And, like, and I bet Tommy, like, in the character, like, was probably not even thinking of it as him intentionally trying to manipulate her. He was just thinking, this is just what needs to be done. Right. This is just what needs to be done. Yeah. And this isn't done yet. And, like, she was already, like, moving on. Yeah. You know, so it's just, like, it's, like, heartbreaking, and you see her be pulled back into it, and, like, yeah. Because then she sacrifices, like, the family she built, and, like, all that kind of stuff. When you come back to the house and everything's gone, except for all of Ellie's stuff, I was just like, oh. I knew it. Like, I was walking on the corridor. You're like, there's no way that this is going to be. Yeah, everyone's gone. And then she left her stuff. I was like, and she tries to play guitar, but she doesn't have fingers well, she has only 3 fingers. Yeah. She's like a. Like, it becomes an experimental musician. Stairway to Heaven. But yeah, just like, and to touch on like the choices thing again, yeah, like I think had we been given choices, first of all, like it would have fucked up like the narrative, because like because you know it's like it would have left like loose ends, right? Like if she didn't kill like these people after she had pursued them and threatened them. Gotta tie those loose ends. Right? Gotta tie them real tight. But also, yeah, like it wouldn't have been impactful, because like you don't get, well, as an onlooker in life, like you don't get choices, right? Like when you, like if you tell me about your personal life, I don't get to choose. I like breathe in. Well. And I'm like, and anyway.
But you know what I mean? It's like, because you as a player in that game, without the choices, you are almost just like an onlooker, you know, because you don't get to choose how. I'm a looker. I'm a watcher. I'm watching you.
Lawyer.
You know what I mean, right? It's like, I don't, like, you can't choose how someone else's life goes. So it's like you are just watching, right? In the same way that, like, you hear people in real life tell, you know, these heart-wrenching narratives about the things they've gone through, and it's just like, there's nothing you can do to change that course. It's already happened, but also, like, there's no choice in it. You have no agency. You just watch. And I think that was the impact of it, was like, you're just there to watch.
Yeah.
And kill dogs, which made me so sad.
I actually avoided killing dogs. That is one thing I did.
I couldn't help it because they kept sniffing me out, and I was like, I'm impatient.
Throw a bomb on them. Molotov. But I think also with, like, the choice and that kind of thing, a lot of people don't realize it, but if you don't grow up wealthy, if you don't grow up into a position where you have, like, total agency over your life and the way your life goes, like, if you don't have support through college, if you don't, you know, if you have to make your own way through yourself and, like, by yourself, there's a lot of things you actually don't have a choice in. Yeah. Like working a job that's thankless, or working at a place that you don't feel passionate to work at just because you have to. Right. And, like, I feel like I related to the narrative in that way because there are a lot of things that just happen to you and you can't control. And I think embracing that to the way that they did created a narrative where it was very realistic. Yeah, exactly. I always say that. I'm like, if this were a book, it would be in the realist genre. Yeah. Because it's like, think about it. It's like a world ravaged by, like, essentially, like, a disease and, like, the results of that. It's like, I'm like, what kind of life do you think people would be living if they survived through that? Yeah. Like, certainly it wouldn't be one where you get to have great positive choices. Like, no, like, this is what I imagine it would be like. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet, but, like, you know, it's not all rainbows and sunshine. Like, you know, if you got to have choices and make things that, like, placated you so you didn't have to experience bad things, like, it wouldn't be realistic. It wouldn't be life. It wouldn't be life. Because Last of Us 2 is life. And a lot of people think, like, well, video games are supposed to be fun. Like, video games are supposed to be, like... I disagree. I disagree, too. But on the realm of, like, decision-making, all those things, if you would have had a choice, let's say you had a choice, and let's say when you killed I forget her name, but the pregnant woman? Oh, yeah, Mel? Yes. When you killed Mel, right? Let's say you had a choice there. Right. Let's rewind it. Let's say Last of Us 2, you had a choice of who you killed, gave you full agency. Right. Try to pull you in that way, to put you in Ellie's shoes, physically and emotionally as a kid. Right? They come with a pair of shoes when you order the game. You have to choose a shoe size. Put on Ellie's shoes. Become Ellie. Become Ellie. That's what it's called. Last of Us. Become Ellie. It's the DLC. I'm like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to. It's like VR, so it's like really real. You're like, oh God. But so let's go back to that scene. You choose not to kill her, right? Right. And as the game, like, what a lot of people were complaining about, like the fact that you didn't have a choice. If you would have decided not to kill all those people, what kind of storyline? The storyline would just build up and build up. It would fall apart. Yeah, and it would fall apart. Because it's like, if you, like, because like I said earlier, it's like let's say it's like you get to that point where you're there with Mel and whatever, I forget the guy's name. Joe. Bob. Let's call him Joe Bob. Fake fans. Yeah. Fuck, what was his name? Owen. Yeah. No, it was. Good job. Yes, it was. I remember because Abby would say Owen. Owen. That's not what she sounds like. Owen. Give me my whey protein. I gotta get these gains. The gamers are gonna hate me because I have gains. Oh my God. That's another can of worms we could open. But, yeah. Wait, now I don't remember what I was gonna say. Owen, like... Right, well, because, like, yeah, like, if you didn't kill Mel, and it's like, you get there, and you just, like, threaten them and then leave, like, yeah. What kind of plot would the game have? Like, screw you! Like, leaves, like, black, like, the curtains. Then later on, like, The only scene that's different is Mel goes up to Abby and is like, this crazy woman tried to kill me. And Abby's like, oh no.
Oh no.
She's
like, but I'm okay.
Where does it go? Where's the like emotional pull in that?
Right, there isn't one.
I'm like, okay.
People need to be more rational. They need to be more logical. They just want to be.
That doesn't exist. Sorry.
Because here I am, listen, when I played that game for the first time and the second time a week later, or whatever it was, I thought about it a lot. Yeah. And I talked to you about it a lot. I'm like, people need to think more.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Like, if you had choices, how would it be different? And, like, how would that be impactful? Would it be impactful? I don't think it would be.
No, it would be.
Imagine trying to create the narrative tree for that as a narrative designer. Like, if you had choices and you had to come up with every, like, branching.
Yeah, and think of a game of, like, Detroit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Detroit had branching, like, storylines, and, like, it had, like, a tree of, like, decisions. But if I think back, like, Detroit, I mean, it wasn't the best game. I'll say that. It wasn't the best game narratively or, like, storyline-wise.
Right.
But I didn't feel as emotionally invested as I did with Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Of course. They're not even the same.
What if someone was like, just like Detroit Become Human? Yeah. I mean, again, like, it's not a bad game, but it's like, I feel like if someone tried to argue that they were more emotionally attached to that, I would be like,
there's something wrong with you.
There was a monkey ball game on GameCube. There might have been more than one. I don't remember. I was a child, but we used to play it all the time.
We're professionals.
We used to play it all the time. And she would play like the expert levels without failing and would get every bonus level, and like I would be like amazed watching her. She was so good at it.
She was the Mozart of Monkey Ball.
Pretty much. If YouTube was the thing back then, she would be making money off these videos.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, she was so good. I like games like that. Is Monkey Ball a platformer?
Google it.
Just every video game we bring up, we have to try to figure out the genre.
We're gamers, guys. Don't worry. And girls. And everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. All right. No, that's
because I mean, it's kind of platforming, right?
Yeah, platform puzzle. I think it's
platform puzzle. Puzzle.
Genre.
I don't like puzzle games really either.
I'm getting Moneyball film. Wikipedia. Moneyball is a 2011 American biography sports drama.
Oh God, that sounds awful.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. I think it's gonna be a
puzzle.
I'm
gonna say platforming.
Oh! There's only one that's right. Guess what?
It's you.
Guess who's right?
You're right.
You're right. It's platform.
Okay, I'm always right. But I mean, I feel like you could argue that it's a puzzle game too, because like you have to try to figure out how to get to the goal. Mm-hmm. It's not like a platformer where it's like you're just making your way downtown, jumping fast
on that road. Yeah. I gotta pay money for her now.
Shit, I didn't think about that. I'll mute that part when I edit.
But I'm learning that the game debuted in Japan in 2001 as an upright arcade cabinet.
As a result to 9/11?
Yeah. We gotta get some more monkeys and bowls. Can't melt steel balls.
Fuck.
This is slowly turning into a conspiracy theory podcast.
Yeah, well, actually, Joe Rogan's about to be here.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Get the cost out. He's got to get some gains on.
You just jump off the balcony. Yeah. You're like...
Not messing with that.
Absolutely not.
So the game debuted in Japan in 2001 as an upright arcade cabinet. I'm talking about Monkey Ball now.
Really? An upright arcade cabinet? I had no idea.
Yeah. Which featured a banana-shaped joystick.
How? Wait a second. Do you have a banana?
I need to look this up.
Wait, hold on.
Let's get a banana for reference.
Okay. So, I guess maybe if you hold it like this.
Please tell me how you hold this.
Like
slowly.
Well, no, because I mean, if it's like this, you could go...
Oh my God. So funny.
Anyway, I guess if you were to hold it like this, right? Because I don't know.
Wait, why would you hold a banana like that?
As a joystick. Well, wait, is it saying it's a joystick so you're moving it with your thumb like this?
There's no joy there. I think
You're
like
right.
This. It's like this. Oh my god, these are limp bananas.
I mean, you need to eat those
These
bananas.
bananas are not aroused.
Flaccid bananas.
Like this. Right?
Oh, maybe.
Like...
Did it show a picture of the arcade cabinet?
I showed you the picture that it came up with.
Oh, that was the picture?
Not the actual
Oh. I was like, that was the arcade cabinet?
Banana porn.
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Monkey ball. A banana joystick. It's indeed a joystick.
There is much joy.
Oh my god, these are horrible looking.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Sold out.
Obviously, they're hot commodities.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they just look like really cheap joysticks.
Clearly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, so
it's like a banana.
It's like it's like those like Microsoft like airplane simulator games for like Windows 96.
Yeah. Except it's a banana.
It's a banana instead of a throttle.
That's so sexy. That's
God, I'm so aroused.
All I want to do is go to this arcade and play with that banana. That's what that's what it makes.
What was the first video game you played? Because I was just thinking, because I said Windows 96, so I was thinking about how my brother and I used to play backyard baseball together. And Roller Coaster Tycoon and like all of those games.
Yeah, I definitely got into the Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I used to love killing people in that game.
I used to love killing people.
Well, you would build like death trap roller coasters where it would fly off and crash.
I would do Zoo Tycoon. I would put them in the lion's den and then close off the exits.
Because you could pick people up.
Yeah, and then you like just got meat.
Yeah.
Like, there's a meat to the side.
I would drop people in lakes too and they would drown.
Yeah. Oh, Sims the pool, take out the
pool. My god, classic.
So many deaths.
But now they can't because they can climb out of the pool in like Sims 4 or whatever. I'm pretty sure.
I'm uninstalling it. That's ridiculous.
I haven't tried killing anyone in Sims 4.
Me neither.
Only in 3, 2, 1.
I've only gotten build mode and then I stopped.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back to first game I ever played.
I asked like a genuine question, then I totally derailed the conversation.
Like you would in the Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would build that looked
like a
banana joystick.
A banana joystick.
No, I would build like what's it called where it just shoots you up?
Oh, drop zone. Drop zone?
Tower of Terror. I don't know.
Yeah, it's whatever.
The one where it like shoots up, it's like a circle, and it shoots you up, and then you come down. I would do that, but I wouldn't build it tall enough, so it would shoot them up into the air, and it would just crash onto itself.
I love it.
People would still come to the park.
We love this ride. It kills us.
I mean, it was before the internet was super pervasive, so there was no clickbait articles. Yeah. There was no online like headlines. People didn't know better. They had to wait for it to be published in the newspaper.
That's true. I feel like that should be a whole episode of like just like killing people like in games, like trying to kill people. Like in Zoo Tycoon or like Roller Coaster Tycoon, and then like cutting like to like different games.
Oh my god.
Do it.
If we end up doing like a Twitch channel with this stuff, we should do that.
That'd be fun.
That would be really fun.
That'd be really fun. But anyway, going back to the first game I played. I think it has to be, there's like Super Mario Bros. I think that's definitely probably one of the first games I ever played, because, I was born in 92, so I had the Super Nintendo growing up, and then I got into PlayStation, like PlayStation 1. I feel like the game that I really invested in, I feel like the first games that I played, I wasn't really like fully invested in because I was so young that I didn't invest my time into it. But the first game that I really invested my time into is probably like either one of the Final Fantasies, like either I think 8 or Silent Hill. Strangely enough, like I was like 8 years old
playing Silent Hill. Yeah. This is so much fun.
And I was like, wow! And then my sister was also playing with me, but my brother had a PlayStation 1, and then I would sneak upstairs and play games that I wasn't supposed to. And my first experience with PlayStation was Resident Evil 1. That was my first ever experience with PlayStation 1. So that opening scene and all that kind of stuff, that's what I played.
Damn.
And that's what I like really enjoyed about it. And then I think after that, it was Silent Hill,
mm-hmm.
and I really got into Silent Hill, which maybe that's why I still love Silent Hill and Resident Evil so much. I think Resident Evil is still one of my favorite franchises.
I fucking love Resident Evil.
Yeah, so good.
We don't talk about, like, 5 and 6, but...
Oh, they don't exist.
They don't exist.
Yeah. 5's good with co-op. Like,
see, but I don't play co-op games.
All right, well, 5 and 6.
You're like, well, get out of my... Why are you even here, then?
Get out of here. For scam. But I think those were, like, the first time I, like, invested in a game, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. But first game, yeah, like Mario Bros, like Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
Those kind of games.
I'm trying to think. Well, because, like, I kind of divide my experience between, like, what I played with my brother. Because my brother is 4 years older than me. So, like, actually almost 5 years older than me. So, like, a lot of my first video game experiences were playing with him because I would just watch.
Yeah.
And so, like, for me, I remember Super Mario 64.
Oh, yeah.
GoldenEye.
Oh, yeah. Those
classic. Those are good games.
Those are very good games.
Great games. I would play GoldenEye right fucking now.
Yeah.
You're like, wow.
I mean, well, we have it.
Someone comes out presenting it. I'm like,
Buddy's like, if this is here. No, we do have that.
GoldenEye. And then, like, computer games, like Backyard Baseball. My brother really liked computer games, so, like, Backyard Baseball, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Sims 1.
Oh, yeah, I got Sims 1 and then all the expansion packs.
Yes! Oh, and I remember did you also get, like, a feeling of, like, gratification when you would get, like, the expansion packs and the little icon would light up on the loading thing?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah, I got the expansion pack!
Yeah, because I got, like, there was one, it was, like, Magic.
Yeah,
like
there was the hot
one.
date one or whatever.
Yes, I remember hot date.
I love that one because there was, like, kind of, like, you know,
kinky
like,
stuff?
Yeah, like, literally.
Like a bear rug that you could, like, poo on.
Yeah.
The fire, yeah.
Oh my god, and, like, a heart-shaped pool and, like, or, like, a jacuzzi or whatever. And you could, like, go on dates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I really liked computer games, too. But I think the first game that I was, like, super invested in was probably Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
So, and I actually don't really know how, because, like, my brother is an Xbox person.
We don't talk about that.
So,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So I don't really know how I got into PlayStation, honestly. But I think it started with 10. Final Fantasy X, and it's still one of my favorite games. I was thinking about it the other day, because I was like, remember when Tidus and Yuna just laughed into the void? And everyone was just like...
Yeah, me playing it, put down the controller. Yeah. I was like, contemplating my life. I'm like, what kind of person am I to play a game?
Right. And like and it's not any better. Like,
and I was embarrassed. No one else was in the room.
You're embarrassed because it's embarrassing.
I was embarrassed.
Somebody wrote that.
Like someone, of course, would come in at that exact moment. Like my mom or dad.
Right.
Like or someone.
Like,
like, what kind of game you playing, Mary? And they're like, she likes this kind of games, I guess.
Like, in one of the first games, I think, to have voice acting, too. I'm like, why did they do that?
That was, like, encapsulating all of Shenmue.
Oh, my God.
In one soundbite.
Oh, my God. Fuck. Yeah, so...
Wait, okay, sorry. I just need to...
Also, it's not... I've played it in Japanese, too, and it's just as funny.
Love that.
The laughing. Not any better.
I really want to dive in deep, though, here. I know we're kind of jumping around with topics.
That's okay.
But I really do want to dive in deep. Why was he teaching her how to laugh? Why was she teaching him how? Why was there teaching of laughing going on? I don't have an answer.
So 2,000 years in the future, there is no laughter. No, he was teaching her how to laugh, so I have to change. Okay. On Besaid Island.
What happens in the future where no one can laugh? You're gonna leave me as a cliffhanger.
There's only laughter 2,000 years in the future, so Tidus comes back in time. Dude, sorry, I want to continue the bit, but can we just talk about how literally it's like a game about time travel?
Yeah. But he's like a sports ball player.
Yeah, like sports and like time travel.
He's an athlete that time travels.
It's like they were developing the game during the turn of the millennia, so they were like, we have to make this about like the future somehow, but we don't want to be conventional, like we don't want to be overplayed,
but we want to bring in people, so we gotta make it about sports,
right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so the reason why he has to teach... Is he teaching Yuna to laugh? Right?
Yes.
Well, because they're feeling down, so he's like, just laugh, right?
Yeah. Love that advice. It's like, anybody. It could be anybody. You're like, oh, my cat just died.
I'm like, oh, have you tried laughing?
Have you tried laughter? And then you're just laughing at this person's dead cat. Like, ah! Stupid cat. But, yes, I think she is so serious because, well, she's going to her death. So, of course, she's serious.
True.
Which you don't know as a player.
Right, not yet.
Not yet. But, so she's being really serious, and he's like, why don't you try liven up a bit? Why don't you try, I play beach ball. Why don't you try laughing?
Why don't you try laughing for once, Yuna?
Yeah. It made me really angry.
Well, especially, like, when you think about it, like, retroactively, like, once you learn that, like, the whole point of this is, like, she's gonna die and she knows that, you're kind of like, he's an asshole. I mean, like, but that's so, like, of course he's an asshole. He's the main character of an RPG from, like, 2001. Yeah. So, like...
Yeah. Generic. I would say generic.
But we love Tidus. Yeah. I mean, I do. I love everyone in that game. Actually, I don't think there's a character I don't like in that game.
Owaka.
Fuck. You're kind of right.
Yeah, he's racist. Fuck. Yeah.
Like, my favorite thing about that, though, is, like, Yuna is, like, obviously half Albed.
Yeah.
Because she has a green eye, but he still is, obvious. Like...
Yuna's my favorord person. Stupid Albed.
And she's, like... It's like the monkey meme where it's, like...
Yeah.
God, Riku, fucking favorite.
Yeah, she's...
Queen.
Yeah, she's queen. I would say Final Fantasy X is the first game that I got a study guide. A game guide.
Yeah.
Like a walkthrough guide for that. Like I specifically got it and I was going page by page, making sure that I got everything.
All the treasure chests.
Yeah.
The collectibles. You want to get those ultimate weapons. Which, that game, can we talk about how fucking hard it is to get the ultimate weapons in that game?
Insane.
Like.
It's insane. You have to at least spend, I mean, I was looking at the hours of how much I spent when I got all the ultimate weapons. It was like 200 plus hours.
Well, because then also, like, because you can do that, but then you can also do, like, the monster arena or whatever, and, like, do the monster creations and stuff, and it's, like, those are fun, because it is, like, you kind of have to, like, max out your sphere grid and, like, have all the super powerful weapons and armor and, like, have all the right, like, buffs and shit. That was fun. And, like, fighting Omega Weapon and, like, all that kind of shit. I will say, though, like, I would have never found the, like, secret areas without the game guide. Because, like, what was I supposed to do? Just, like, press randomly X, like, mash X while going on the map? Like,
I wouldn't have able to get that. It was also, like, Final Fantasy IX, how to get Garnet's real name, you had to, like, press X at, like, the same time and go in the circle. Like, I didn't get that.
Oh, absolutely not.
Until the internet came out, until, like, guides came out.
Right.
But.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's the first game that
I feel like 9 also, getting the ultimate weapons was kind of hard.
Yes. Well, because I remember that one, wasn't Zidane's the Chocobo hunt? Or whose was... Like,
oh, yeah.
Like the last Chocobo hunt you could get, and it was in the, like, the ice place, and you had to, like, hit this random part of the ocean that they gave you no hint. Yeah. Or the hint was really bad, and, like, you just had to...
Just go out in the ocean.
Yeah.
Just fucking swim.
Yeah. And then you had to use those peppers, those hot peppers.
Yeah.
They had a limited supply.
Right. So you're like, you're like, I'm sweating. These peppers are hot.
It's hot. Yeah, that was intense.
Yeah. 9, like, if they remade 9, it would be so good. It would be so good.
I feel like...
They won't, but, like, it would be so good.
No, it would be amazing. And it's such a beautiful game.
Yeah.
I feel like they could make it look gorgeous and
redo the soundtrack. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I played did I tell you that from one of my piano recitals when I was a kid? I played the Terra theme.
Yeah, you did say that.
It's so beautiful.
It is really beautiful.
What can I say?
Yeah. I would have much preferred a Final Fantasy 9 remake than the trash garbage that I saw this remake.
That's gonna have to be like its own episode as us talking about that.
Yeah.
Next week on are we still calling it
Trash
Afterschool
talk.
Special
It's a
School
trash
Club?
talk.
Ass Club.
Yeah. Ass Club. Afterschool Special Club.
How long have we been doing this for?
I don't know.
I can't read. Is this seconds?
1,667.
Oh, an hour. Should we stop it here?
Yeah.
That's like a good.
That's good.
Okay. No one is watching, but thanks for watching.
Listening to us ramble about video games. We'll find direction.
We'll find direction. We'll get there.
We'll find One Direction.
I was gonna sing a One Direction song, but then I couldn't think of one.
I've never listened to a One Direction song ever in my life.
Well, on that note, bye.
Bon voyage.
Bye.